This evening, shootout at the State House. Assailant stabs presidential guard, relieves him of firearm. Georgetown mayor arrested, placed on $200,000 bail. DPP discontinues private criminal case against SOCU. In the region, Peru declares nationwide state of emergency as crisis deepens. And internationally, at least 4 people dead after a boat capsized in English Channel. Welcome to another broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Updates. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Ranks of the Ghana Police Force are investigating an early morning shooting at State House on Carmichael Street. Investigations reveal that around 7:30 a.m. this morning, Presidential Guard Constable Delon Pereira was on duty at the Southeastern Guard Hut adjacent to Carmichael Street when a male identified as Nigerian national Bethel Chinezi confronted the security, stating, "I want the president." The man then drew a knife from the waist of his pants and proceeded to stab the officer in duty 5 times his neck and about his body. The suspect proceeded to relieve Pereira of his firearm. He then drew the firearm, retreated to Carmichael Street, and fired several rounds. The security detail returned fire, injuring the suspect. Kinsey is said to have been living in Ghana for less than 4 years and worked with a security company based in Georgetown. A 9mm pistol and 7 matching spent shells were retrieved from the scene. Both the suspect and the police rank Pereira were rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital for medical attention. The president has since paid a visit to the injured presidential guard at the Georgetown Public Hospital and offered support to the family. Investigations into the incident are in progress. Today, Mayor of Georgetown Obraj Ryan and Opposition Member of Parliament Sherrod Duncan were placed on $200,000 bail each when they appeared at the Georgetown Magistrates Court to answer 2 charges each of attempting to incite racial and ethnic division in the country. On Wednesday, the duo were arrested and charged under the Ghana's Racial Hostility Act concerning statements they made about the Muslim community and President Dr. Irfan Ali. They appeared before Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan and were released on $100,000 bail for each count. The first charge read that Narayan and Duncan on December 12th at New Market Street intentionally transmitted a video attempting to incite racial division. They were not required to plead to this indictable charge. The second charge read that on the same date and location, the 2 attempted to incite racial hostility to a section of the public on the grounds of their race, to which they pleaded not guilty. The case was adjourned to January 20th, 2023. As a condition of their bail, the men were ordered to refrain from posting or airing any materials relating to the incident pending the outcome of the case. Additionally, Mayor Narayan and Member of Parliament Duncan were hauled before Magistrate Clive Nurse and made to answer 2 counts of obstructing the free flow of traffic at New Market Street on December 12th. They pleaded not guilty to the charges and were released on self-bail. On Tuesday, members of various religious groups condemned the comment made by Mayor Narayan, and several persons picketed outside of his office. The mayor was also disembodied from the Ghana National Reserve of the Ghana Defense Force with effect from Tuesday, December 13, 2022, for conduct unbecoming of a soldier. The Ghana Defense Force issued a statement saying that Mr. Narayan, on Monday, December 12, 2022, was engaged in a civil protest action during which he uttered words that are considered to have promoted racial and religion intolerance as well as political dissonance. Several disparaging comments were made against the Commander-in-Chief and his government. Albeit regular or reserved, Mr. Narayan is required to conduct himself in a manner that upholds the professional image and integrity of the force. Members of the force, regular and reserved, are required to adhere to the policies, regulations, and protocols of the force. The values and standards of the Ghana Defense Force are examples of such. The statement went on to say that these require, among others, adherence to core values such as discipline, integrity, and loyalty. Similarly, it requires members of the force to adhere to core standards such as responsibility, respect for the law, respect for others, correct conduct, and appropriate social behavior. The statement further added that Mr. Obraj Narayan's conduct on Monday, December 12, 2022, violated the above-mentioned and others. The mayor, however, has since issued a public apology for the statement. Stick around after the break. DPP discontinues private criminal case against SOCU, and President Ali optimistic his government's progressive policy will benefit all citizens.
Last year, we couldn't celebrate Christmas as we wanted to, so for this year, we had everything planned. 100,000 watts of lights, 10 feet tall tree, the best table ever, custom t-shirts, live shows, DJ. And we also had Uncle Mario, who forgot the KFC buckets in the car with the keys inside.
Step back!
This Christmas is to be enjoyed no matter what. Let's savor this Christmas.
Shop at John Lewis Styles in December, and you could win one Amazon Echo Show every day. Yes, every day. And that's not all. 4 persons will win $500,000 to spend in the store. Just imagine $500,000 to spend on clothing, footwear, watches, fragrances, handbags, luggage, and accessories. So shop now at John Lewis Styles to win one Amazon Echo Show every day and $500,000 to spend in the store. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Give your home or office some shine. Fortune Investment Company. We provide reliable commercial and residential professional cleaning services in Guyana. We clean homes and commercial offices. Other services offered are floor care and tile polishing, interior auto detailing services, power washing, weeding and cleaning, and carpet, couch, and mattress cleaning. We are committed to keeping your homes and offices squeaky clean. Call us now at 592-689-7558 or 592-639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jackson North Rumville, Georgetown, Guyana. Fortune Investment Company. When we say clean, we mean spotless.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. On Wednesday, President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali said his government is working overtime to address every category of workers. He is optimistic that his government's progressive strategy will improve the welfare of every citizen. Dr. Ali was at the time responding to questions posted by media operatives on the salary increases, specifically for teachers, on the sidelines of an event held at the Artichon Convention Center. He said, while government understands the importance of wage adjustments, the all-embracing well-being support by the administration is more than just finance.
The quality of your health care, the quality of your infrastructure, the cost of your electricity, the cost of your water, the quality of your water. We're working on having treated water to every single person on the coast to bring down the cost of electricity by half. Definitely, every sector of employees, their time will come. The day for teachers will come.
Previously, the president announced salary adjustments for selected categories of employees of the disciplined service and healthcare workers. He made it clear on numerous occasions that the salary increase will take a holistic approach that will eventually see every public sector worker benefiting from a comfortable remuneration package.
We have to understand the functionalities of the economy and every category of workers will be addressed. And we're starting from critical areas where there were great anomalies, and that is how we have started, and we are progressing.
While the president did not give a timeline for the adjustments of salaries for teachers, he added that, quote, "Things are happening quickly in this country," end of quote. The Director of Public Prosecutions, Shalimar Ali Haq, has dropped all private criminal proceedings against the 3 Special Organized Crime Unit officers accused of forcefully detaining attorney Tamika Clark. SOCU officers reportedly held Clark on October 28th after constantly advising her clients under investigation by the agency to be silent and refrain from answering any questions. Through her lawyer Nigel Hughes, Clark had filed legal proceedings at the Demerara High Court, seeking several reliefs along with $300,000 in damages. The lawyer had also filed 2 private criminal charges at the Georgetown Magistrates Court against Superintendent Krishendat Ramana, Sergeant Ravendra Prasad, and Sergeant Winston Singh for the offenses of wrongful restraint and wrongful confinement. In a letter dated December 12, 2022, addressed to the magistrate Anit Singh, the DPP notified the magistrate that she had discontinued both charges filed by Clark's attorney. In giving her reasons to discontinue the charges against the SOCU officers, the DPP stated that these are the issues of tort and constitutional breaches, which are civil actions, and all matters included in the allegations will be addressed in the civil action filed against the state. Ali Haq added that in her considered opinion, facts alleged by the lawyer do not fall within the scope, purport, and intentment of the Kidnapping Act. Therefore, the charges filed under this act are an abuse of process. She noted that these are the circumstances for discontinuing the 2 private criminal charges against Superintendent Ramana, Sergeant Prasad, and Sergeant Singh. Don't go away after the break. At least 4 people died after a boat capsized in the English Channel, and China's retail factory output slumps as COVID curves hit growth.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our stores, you're welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries, and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. However, Maison Francois is more than just chocolate. We serve lunch, dinner, afternoon tea, and even Sunday morning mimosa brunch. Our convenient location at 133 Thomas Street, Kitty, makes it the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. Treat yourself with the taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown. Only at Maison Francois.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Shop at John Lewis Styles in December, and you could win one Amazon Echo Show every day. Yes, every day. And that's not all. 4 persons will win $500,000 to spend in the store. Just imagine $500,000 to spend on clothing, footwear, watches, fragrances, handbags, luggage, and accessories. So shop now at John Lewis Styles to win one Amazon Echo Show every day and $500,000 to spend in the store. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Peru has declared a nationwide state of emergency amid a week of protests and political upheaval following the removal and detention of former President Pedro Castillo, Al Jazeera's Mariana Sanchez reports.
President Dina Boluarte declared the country is now in a state of emergency as demonstrators in Cusco looted stores, burnt a television station, and tried to storm the airport. In another city in Puno, protesters also tried to force entry to the runway. The army has been deployed to assist the police in protecting key infrastructure. With blockades on main highways and expanding protests, Boluarte brought forward the plan for general elections again, to be held, she says, a year from now.
Legally, the timetables will be okay for 2024. However, making readjustments, this can be brought forward to December 2023, because before that date, legally, it would not be possible.
Protesters are demanding general elections now. Ronald Iscuvilca came all the way from Peru's Amazon region. He says he wants his voice heard.
We want Congress to close, a change of the Constitution, and the new elections.
These demonstrators are hoping former President Pedro Castillo will be freed. 1 week after he tried to dissolve Congress, suspended legal protections, and ordered the army to patrol the streets, the former president is detained on rebellion charges.
It is likely the judge will order that Castillo remain under arrest. Castillo says his freedom is being restricted and asked the Inter-American Commission for Human Rights to intercede.
In a handwritten letter, Castillo is blaming Dina Boluarte for Peru's social unrest.
I hold you and all your circle responsible for the ferocious attack on my compatriots. I call on the organized people to remain alert and optimistic.
Teodosia Kawaya is in tears. She says Castillo is the legitimate leader.
My president has been elected by the people. He is the president of the people. He has come from the highlands. The white people do not want us.
Castillo supporters say they will remain outside the prison for the long run. They've set up a communal kitchen to sustain themselves and their cause, while the judiciary decides Castillo's fate. Mariana Sanchez, Al Jazeera, Lima, Peru.
Internationally, at least 4 people are dead after an incident involving a small boat in the English Channel between Britain and France. According to British media reports, dozens of people were rescued after a small boat capsized in the icy water of the British coast on Wednesday. Al Jazeera's Andrew Simmons reports.
Not for the first time, refugees and migrants dying at sea. But more lives were saved than lost as fishermen pulled people to safety from the icy waters of the English Channel.
A rigid inflatable boat with people on board, migrants, was crossing and was sinking very, very near to where he was fishing. So amazingly, he got right in next to the sinking boat and managed to come alongside and safely get 31 people on board.
This latest tragedy is once again down to people traffickers. They're not deterred by freezing weather, neither, it seems, are the migrants. Channel crossings is an ongoing humanitarian crisis, and people traffickers have never been busier. At the same time, politicians are running short of ideas on how to stop them.
It is not cruel or unkind to want to break the stranglehold of the criminal gangs who trade in human misery and who exploit our system and our laws.
I'm sure the whole House will share my sorrow at the capsizing of a small boat in the Channel in the early hours of this morning and the tragic loss of human life. Our hearts go out to all those affected.
Less than 24 hours before these deaths, UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak had been talking about new measures to curb the Channel crossings. But so far, every measure the UK government introduces has failed.
There needs to be safe and legal routes. That's the biggest issue that we've got at the moment, is that people are making the journey from Calais because there is no other way of doing it. You have to be on British soil, on the island, in order to seek asylum. There's no centre in Calais where you can claim asylum, so people have no choice but to make this journey. And that is the single biggest thing that the government could do in order to prevent people having to risk their lives.
Here at Dover Lifeboat Station, they've seen it all before. People trafficking across the channel is at record levels. 40,000 this year, and at the weekend alone, 500 risked their lives. Tragedies are all too frequent. This time, more lives were saved than lost, but that isn't always the case. Last November, 27 lives were lost in the Channel, the highest number ever recorded. A diplomatic spat followed between France and the UK, with the British saying the French should do more to stop the small boats from leaving their shoreline. As the lifeboat crews will tell you, the crossings are ever more frequent and dangerous. Andrew Simmons, Al Jazeera, Dover.
And finally, China is bracing for a surge in COVID-19 infections after the government scaled back its strict measures. Public fears are mounting of a large outbreak, and that is undermining hopes of a recovery for the beleaguered economy. Al Jazeera's Rickford Kimber reports.
There are few signs of life at many shopping districts in the Chinese capital. Fears of a looming COVID-19 outbreak are keeping many people off the streets. Mr. Chen barely sees any customers at his tea shop these days, but he's holding out hope that business will bounce back.
The pandemic will eventually go away. It'll take some time, but I believe things will recover step by step and my business will gradually improve.
The latest official economic data is less optimistic. For the second consecutive month, retail sales slumped almost 6% on last year. Investment and industrial growth both slowed in November, and unemployment rose to the highest since May. Policymakers are launching huge stimulus measures and pumping billions of dollars into the banking system. But analysts say it may take more than just money to spark an economic rebound.
So there's a lot of fear in the country right now. So consumers, frankly, just are not willing to go outside to restaurants. A lot of parents are refusing to send their children to school because they're scared of the families catching COVID. So I think the economy is in a very weak state, much weaker than most analysts realize.
The sudden relaxation of long-standing pandemic restrictions has seen some shoppers stockpiling at supermarkets and pharmacies.
I am very worried. The problem is I can't buy any medicine now. What should I do if I get a fever? It's too risky to go out.
The government is trying to reassure the public that everything is under control. It's boosting vaccine production, rolling out more booster shots for the elderly, and ordering hospitals to increase capacity at intensive care units. But international health experts say China's lack of exposure to the virus over the past 3 years and its low vaccination rate among seniors means there's a risk that around 1 million people could die as the country rapidly transitions out of its zero COVID policy. Richard Kimber, Al Jazeera, Hong Kong.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. that is all for this edition of Channel 2's Headline News Update. Tune in on Friday at 5:30 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.